Yeah. The fiscal measures that you point out in your report as well, salary increases and other support for groups such as civil servants and the security sector were announced by the government before the elections. Is it the Observer Mission's view that this was actually a bribe?
So again, we look at the campaign environment from a long-term perspective, and we look at the involvement of resources in the campaign. In the case of Zimbabwe, the element of campaign and political finance is very lightly regulated. And so we look to see whether there are any misuse or misappropriation of state resources during the course of the campaign. There were a number of events which are documented and footnoted in our report where there was the use of resources which were not clear in terms of their provenance, and they were used in terms of campaigning for a certain political side. And so that is something that we look at in terms of the fair play and the level playing field during the course of the elections.
So is it political patronage or is it bribing?
This is something which really is dependent on the legal framework. As I mentioned, that legal framework is still to be developed, and it's something that's likely to be a recommendation of ours in the future for modification in terms of further electoral reform.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. That is the Deputy EU EOM Deputy Chief Observer, Dr. Beata Martin-Rozumiłowicz, who is one of the observers that were looking at the polls in Zimbabwe.